My name is Isabel Souza, and this is my third year in Situate's HOSA chapter.
Hi, my name is Grace Monaco, and this is my first year in the Situate HOSA chapter.
Hi, my name is Grace Dietrich, and this is also my first year in Situate's HOSA chapter.
Hi, my name is Sophia Renone, and I've been involved with Situate HOSA for 3 years.
The purpose of our presentation was to educate the 7th grade class in our district about the dangers of vaping and juuling and how it can severely affect the brain and the body of an individual. We chose the 7th grade class as our audience because as they progress from middle school to high school, they will be faced with peer pressure and most likely will be asked to try e-cigarette products at some point in time. The goal of our topic was to persuade students to avoid vaping at all costs. Our instructional planning process started by brainstorming issues that are prevalent in our society. There is a widespread usage of e-cigarette products by students in schools, and the CDC reports that 2/3 of those users do not know those products contain nicotine and how harmful this chemical can be to the adolescent brain. The Surgeon General has issued many of the same warnings about the increase in usage of these products amongst teens. Due to this increased usage amongst youth, we felt this was not only an issue for Situate, but for people all across the country.
Our presentation opened with an introduction of ourselves and HOSA and the purpose of the lesson. Tools utilized during the lesson included a PowerPoint and a variety of hands-on activities. Our first activity was a set of true and false questions. We posed 5 questions and asked 10 volunteers to come to the front of the room and place their answer on a true and false board. An example question was, true or false, if you vape, are you less at risk for smoking cigarettes? An image of students' answers to questions from this activity can be found in Figure 12 on page 15 of the portfolio. The purpose of this activity was to understand what prior knowledge these students had about juuling. At the conclusion of the introduction, we would revisit the activity to see what the students had learned. An explanation of juuling and e-cigarettes using the PowerPoint ultimately led us to our second activity. These were our chemical cards. Students had to match a picture to a chemical found in vape products and its potential side effects. Card examples and more detailed explanation of the activity can be found on page 16, figure 13 of the portfolio. Once this was finished, we spoke about what the body looks like on nicotine and then showed students a video about the rise of vaping. A link to the video can be found in our portfolio on page 9 directly below figure number 4. To conclude our introduction, we asked students to revisit the true and false questions and change any of their answers if needed.
Our own experiences taught us that when we transitioned from middle school to high school, substance abuse, specifically like Juul and other lookalike products, became more prevalent than in middle school. On a daily basis, we see many of our peers using these products. This lesson is valuable because it will make these students who will be transitioning into high school aware of what the products looked like and the dangers associated with using them. Even if some of these students have started to see their friends use these products, this lesson hopefully showed them how much their peers are impacting their health and how to say no when faced with a situation in which they are asked to try one of these products.
All members of our group had an active role in the preparation and the delivery of the lesson. Grace and Grace were focused on developing the PowerPoint to ensure all necessary information was included. Isabella and I got our best efforts into creating the portfolio. All of the information presented was researched and developed into a presentation that was understandable to the chosen grade.
In order to evaluate the effectiveness and impact of our instruction, we developed a 5-question quiz the students would fill out at the conclusion of the presentation. We instructed the students to write their names at the top of the paper, as we felt if the quiz were left anonymous, the students would be reluctant to make their best effort when answering the questions. This would ensure honest answers and truthful evaluations. There were 2 multiple-choice questions, 2 feedback ratings, and 1 short answer question on what the students had learned from our instruction. These small questionnaires provided the information we needed to understand the effectiveness of our presentation to the 7th grade class. The first multiple choice question asked students if they knew what amount of nicotine in a Juul is equivalent to when comparing it to packs of cigarettes. 52% of students answered the question correctly with an answer of 2 packs of cigarettes. In the second multiple choice question, students were asked, what effects does juuling have on the body when done repeatedly? 99% of students answered all of the above, which included coughing, lung damage, and worsening asthma. The rating questions showed that 89% of students felt the presentation was enjoyable and informative. Given these results, we know that the students were informed about the topic of vaping and its dangers. It is our hope that it impacts their future as they begin to transition to high school and are faced with peer pressure in the face of substance abuse. On behalf of Scituate High School HOSA, we thank you for giving us this time to explain our health education project.